Strong words there from the Indian Foreign Secretary. The Wagah-Atari border to be closed. All Pakistani nationals who've been given visas to India will have to leave the country by the 1st of May. And the Pakistani Embassy and the Indian High Commission in their respective countries will be downsized. And the Indus water treaty will be annulled for now. Pakistani army advises India persona non grata. So India's first steps largely diplomatic. Putting the diplomatic heat on Pakistan seems to be now step one that the Indian government has taken. We are going to process all of that. We'll be joined by expert diplomats to look at exactly what this means, what India has done. But the first step, first response after the CCS is to take the appropriate diplomatic measures. Indus Water Treaty, visas, and indeed the Atari-Wagah border, all of them part of what the Indian government has done at the moment. So those are the first steps that have been taken by the Indian government, tough steps that have been taken in terms of diplomacy. But so far the government very cautious to keep the diplomatic steps that they've taken away from any possible security response and armed response that they will give. Joining me now is Gaurav Sawant. Gaurav, it appears that the first step is primarily diplomatic in terms of the response.
It indeed is, Rajdeep, and holding the Indus Water Treaty in abeyance is a very major signal of intent by the Narendra Modi government, and that's a signal that has been spoken of in the past but not actually actioned upon. When you say that Indus Water Treaty is held in abeyance, the signal that goes out to Pakistan is that water for Pakistan is not more important than blood of innocent Indians. And as you very well know, the three rivers in India is an upper riparian state, and water from the Indus from the Indus River and the three other rivers, very crucial for Punjab farmers, Pakistan Punjab farmers, and down the chain. So it's not that you're stopping that water, but you're holding the treaty in abeyance, is not sharing data, not sharing information. There are certain other clauses about the treaty which will be held in abeyance for now. Withdrawing the defense attaches, Army, Navy and Air Force, withdrawing the military attaches, reducing staff strength at the High Commissions from 55 down to 30. Remember, it's 110 is the sanctioned strength. So first our High Commissioners were withdrawn, then certain other senior officers were withdrawn. But when you withdraw the naval attache, the air attache, the army military attache and the support staff, that's another signal that is being sent out. SAARC visas, everyone's being told you go back, those visas stand annulled. So, you know, when people talk about Rajdeep, that, SAARC should be revived, Narendra Modi government has anyway said SAARC has been held to ransom by Pakistan state-sponsored radical Islamist terror, and unless that is addressed, there is no movement on SAARC. So, that's another very major signal that the government sends out.
What about questions over alleged intelligence lapses, the security situation, the unified command situation on the ground? Have those issues been looked at, or that has been left for a later day? The first step is what we've seen today in terms of diplomatically sending out the message to Pakistan.
Rajdeep, that's a pertinent point that you raised, but when the Foreign Secretary briefs on the Cabinet, after the Cabinet Committee on Security, it's a message that's going out to the world. What we do internally within our country is something that perhaps the Home Minister, in his briefing and meetings that he's held in Srinagar and with the Unified Command, would be addressing at that level. But this is a much bigger thing because it's cross-border terror perpetrated by Pakistan. While we set our house in order internally, the message has to go out to that state sponsor of radical Islamist terror that they have to set their house in order. And it may take time, as the Foreign Secretary pointed out, Rajdeep, whereas a terrorist like Tahawwur Hussain Rana, when India made an effort and managed to extradite him and get him back to India, the other perpetrators, they would also go after, as we ensure, as the country ensures what is to be done internally is handled internally. But while we sort out a house in order, the external threat has to be dealt with in the form of Pakistan terror, Rajdeep.
We'll wait and see what next, what other steps India takes. Coercive diplomacy for now seems to be the first step that India has taken in the aftermath of that terror attack in Pahalgam. Thanks very much, Gaurav Sawant, for joining us with those details. Now, of course, all of this is putting more and more focus on the situation in the Kashmir Valley. Pakistan-sponsored terror has been something that Kashmir has had to live with for more than 3 decades now.